there's a lot of things that we just don't understand in this world. And it took me a long time to get there. And I had a lot of help from many people and things, but I finally now understand what's going on. And it's my experience. It's not the 100% truth. I want people to start experiencing and understanding other people's perspectives and then evaluate it against their own and see what happens. And maybe they learn something, maybe they don't. But once you start trying things and you start experimenting, you have an opportunity to grow. So that's the whole point of this. And I'm going to be showing how I actually literally record my videos, how I edit them, how I work on social media, how I write comments, how I do everything step by step. It's all going to be fully visible to everyone that wants to watch it, everyone that wants to experience it, everyone that wants to learn. Hopefully you can take something from my methodology, from my approach, from my beliefs. And all I'm asking is, if it helps you, just pass it forward, spread it, teach people the good things that you got. There's no catch, there's no benefit other than the world changing, period. If one person watches this and experiences this and decides that they got motivated to try something themselves, and they can motivate 6 other people, that's the chain, that's the domino effect, that's the whole point of this. That's how this works. So that's how we're going to be operating from here on out every day. Just, this is the over the hump. I believe that we all have to take a first step to cross a line, start a new journey, just to completely reevaluate and change our life. And this is that moment. This is that moment for me, trying something new. I've never really streamed, and now I just want people to see everything that goes into building this, and hopefully over time, build a website, build a Discord, create a community of where we can actually talk about topics that need to be discussed that currently are being censored on social medias. So we can't really discuss awakening and spirituality and bosses that treat you poorly and other industries that are in desperate need of reform. And it all begins by someone normalizing that and this safe haven being created. And that's what's going to happen. That's what is happening. And for the people who get here early, well, you're going to see something incredible be created over time. Who knows how long it's going to take, but we're going to build something. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter the numbers, because this is going to be recorded, this is going to be edited, this is going to be released. So it's just changing that perspective shift internally to realizing that it's all about helping people and creating a new world where we become one. We literally become united. We become one entity that just understands that we're all humans, we're all alive, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to start recording on Descript. That's the program that I use for my videos, for podcasting. And I'm going to go from there. Let's change the music. Let's go something a little more emotional. If you're watching, just please feel free to send a message in chat. I'm not sure exactly how this works yet, so I'd love to build a community with anyone who's watching. Say hello. It all begins with one person, so you could be the hero. You could be the first. All right, so let's do this. Descript. So the way I approach it is, when I'm recording things, I first write down my process So just for anyone who might watch, I don't know if it's one of those videos or stuff like this, but write down my notes, get into the mindset of my approach. Do a lot of research and studying before I even get started, but I have an outline. Right now I'm still a little rusty. So I'm getting back into the groove of things. So in the past, I would just have an outline, and then I could talk from those outlines, and I could talk for a long period of time. But we're getting back there. But for now, since I'm making videos that have backdrops, I don't feel as obligated or as pressured to actually look into the camera, and I don't use AI for editing or anything of that nature. So it just gives me the opportunity to focus on the voice and delivery of the message. But yeah, just write it out, and then we're going to be, you get to see the workings of a mad scientist, and we're going to be reading it out. And as I am discussing it, I'm going to be adding things to make sure that the message comes across, and I'll be showing my editing process and everything. So for people who want to know the chaos behind the genius, this is what this is going to be about. And I just believe in full transparency, and people need to realize that it's doable, it's possible, anyone can do this. And it all just begins with taking that first step. And it was challenging getting to this point, even for me. You start focusing on the meaningless metrics, the vanity, the graphics, the amount of people watching, if you're going to actually make an impact, how many people like it. Like, it's not about that. It's not about that. Especially like if you're anything like me, where you understand how relevant and big and important it is to not sometimes interact with everything you see, especially with the algorithms and everything like that. So I understand why people might not. So anyway, that's my intro. Anyone who watches this later, if you have any questions, please ask. Let's get started. So this is, it's hard to find a way to write something and create something and explain something that talks about topics that for the most part have been taboo in this world till now. I'm going to talk a lot about awakening, about how certain things that we believe operate in a normal way, actually there's a lot more that goes into them than we think. Talking about illusions, talking about what many people might consider conspiracies that are not, talking about things of that nature. So if you're excited about, actually having real talk, then you're in the right spot. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with something a little more. I believe in having background music. I think music is extremely powerful. I believe that it guides us. I believe that it can provoke emotion within us. I believe that it can be the thing that you need to calm yourself. Normally, I'm still figuring out the stream setup. Normally, what I would do is have music on my phone while I'm recording so that I can use it as flow. So get into a flow state where you can just speak freely, and the next thing you know, you just talked for like 20 minutes without even looking at your notes because the music just hit right. So finding the right song that motivates you, that gets you into that flow state, is absolutely critical. So right now, obviously, I'm trying some of the songs that I use for the brand and the videos, but we'll see what happens. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go to Descript. The beginning. Alrighty. Let's see how it looks. Oh, you don't see the video thing. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So let's hit record. And here we go. Once we have a wound on our body, what's the first thing that we do? We wash it. We put a Band-Aid on it so that it doesn't get infected, so that nothing seeps into the cracks. If we're in a state of despair, we're vulnerable to outside forces and influences, regardless of our beliefs. If it's spiritual, if it's negative friends, if it's an abusive boss, or perhaps it's just social media, AI, and news. This is my initial theory on what insecurity, on what the dark one, on what and how the world actually works. And this is my initial theory versus what I know now. This is where it began, and now you will be seeing the progression of that journey. So I had a struggle in my life, professionally, personally. Things just didn't add up. Things didn't make sense. Like there was just, it's almost seemed like something was intentionally attacking me. And I don't want to play the victim card, but it's not the focus of the story. But my point is, I think a lot of people can relate to, there comes a point in their life where they don't understand what's happening. They can't explain why they're experiencing the things that they're experiencing. It just seems like it's one blow after another, one blow after another. And you start questioning yourself. You start questioning if there's something wrong with you. You start questioning if maybe I am the problem. Well, I fell to zero. I was completely broken, and I started a process of healing and doing self-therapy and developing self-awareness. And as I healed, I realized that there was actually nothing wrong with me. Yet I fully believed that I was broken. And still to this day, there's lingering fragments of pain and issues. And it made me realize that if it could happen to someone like me who had climbed the ladder, who had put in extensive work, who's obsessed with self-improvement and understanding the world, what about someone who doesn't put in that time and that effort? Do they even have a chance? So that's the backstory. So as I've technical difficulties. So as I began connecting the dots, I realized that there were some things that didn't make sense. First of all,